Well, everybody has a role on this planet. Living, thriving, growing, and that needs time. We need time too.
Warning, this show contains upfront and unfiltered opinions. I'm Salber, and I'll be chatting to a bunch of young people to hear what they've been up to as they deal with this mess of a planet we have inherited. Thank you, parents! We'll be diving into the environment, climate change, the psychological repercussions we have been experiencing, the dreams, the dread, the humor, the hope. Oh my god. Now, what next? Let's meet today's guest. Please join me in welcoming our next guest, Adrienn Újházi.
Thank you so much for having me for this talk.
Adrienn is a visual artist from Serbia whose inspiration comes from sustainable material. Adrienn has showcased her work at galleries, exhibitions, and collaborative initiatives across Serbia. These include interactive installations called Compost Me and Inverted Nature. Her work investigates the relationship between nature and the human from various perspectives, including ecology, art, and bioart. Something that makes her practice very unique is her use of an alternative and plant-based living material as a medium, which she grows herself. It's known as scoby, symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and perhaps people who have experience with kombucha would have heard of it. Right, I'll jump right into why we're here today.
Okay.
So conversations about the environment are everywhere.
Oh, really? That sucks.
And sometimes they're exhausting. Why do you feel like your take is important?
Well, everybody has a role on this planet, so I personally thought that maybe art can be one of my main roles during the lifetime. Painting as a traditional medium wasn't enough for me, and I wanted to have a bigger impact. How can I speak in different mediums? So that's why during the studies I kind of found this specific medium, how can I express myself, which is mostly BIOART and based on environmental issues. During the high school period, when I was at my grandparents' house and my grandmother, she was complaining every day about the climate.
Do you know to fix up this thermometer? The thermometer is on 66!
How the earth is, vanishing. What was really intriguing to me, and how can I kind of express myself and show to the people from the city that this kind of issue is everywhere, but they didn't have a chance to speak about that. So I kind of packed in an art form. I was using painting as a medium, but I wanted to make something different from it. So what I mean, especially to make a living painting. So I started to use literally wheat seed in my works, and I was documenting this whole process during that period when it was developing. So I had this kind of small wheat germs on my work. So I used the gauze beside the canvas. So I had these different kind of abstract movings, motifs on the surface. So I thought that would be an interesting initiative to share with the students also, because they are young adults. I can say, okay, teenagers, between 14 and 18 years. So I think after 10 years, the future will be theirs in their hands. So I thought that it would be really useful in that context also to include my mindset and my kind of view of the world and the environment.
And I think it's also really awesome that you're sharing that with the next generation. As you're saying, we inherited a planet and they have also inherited something that will probably be very different when we leave it.
we are almost the same age, I think. We are during our 20s. But after 10 years, we will be near to 40. I think, yeah, let's not talk about ages. But yeah, so I'm thinking about that after 10 years, everything will be in their hands. I'm at my studio at this moment and I have a bunch of plants around me. And it's really fascinating to see something living, thriving, growing. And that needs time. We need time too, but we need to decide what we will do and just to choose wisely. We don't have to know everything. It's important to have just one role and to do one thing, but let's stick to that and be patient.
Yeah.
We just want to do and to see everything in few seconds. And that's the method of learning also. And we are also expecting the results, but that's not reality in that sense.
Immediate results.
Don't care how, I want it now. Don't care how, I want it now.
Exactly. So I think we need to be a little bit calmer in that sense, to feel ourselves as human, living, breathing, flesh and meat persons.
There's a lot to be sad, gloomy, despondent, depressed about. But what would you say, because I believe that amidst it all, there are still reasons to be hopeful. What would you say makes you hopeful right now?
Well, hopefulness is also from the younger generations because they are concerned. So that's a big plus. They are not phlegmatic in that context that, it will be whatever happens or something like that.
I'm not sure I'm interested in that.
No, they are really concerned, but they need a person who will, give them a choice or a path or a motive or an ambition, just to give some little spark.
What would you say is the most frustrating thing that comes up for you in conversations about the environment?
I can speak as a cultural worker, as an artist. So especially in Serbia, we have a challenge for the near future because most of the galleries are not that sustainable. For the whole process and the whole production, it's really challenging to realize. What I'm trying to figure out, are we planning to do only digital works to be more sustainable? If yes, what kind of, circumstances do we need for that? How much energy, especially now, etc. Is that sustainable enough too? So, you have this paradox all the time. So you shouldn't feel that guilty, but you need to be just conscious.
I feel like that's key, having that awareness, and the fact that you're articulating these questions, is the place to start. There are a lot of corporations in this capitalistic economy that are failing to even communicate the fact that they are aware of the damage that they're doing and are contributing to. On that topic, what would you say is the most evil corporation in existence today?
Evil corporation? Well, I don't like to point on, corporations or any institutions.
That's suspicious.
But there are for sure few. And I think time will show the results. Yeah.
Do you feel that a day will arrive where all the actions will be exposed and they will suffer consequences?
Any last words?
Well, it depends, but those are people too and living on this planet, so, we are in the same shoe.
I respect your answer. Do you feel as an individual or ever experienced climate guilt?
Yeah, I think everybody has that, especially now when you are living in this consumeristic, life and circumstance. It's really hard, to embrace this kind of called zero waste lifestyle.
You will ingest entire ecosystems.
We're eating the ocean.
But especially now in this artistic practice, what I'm now doing, using the scoby material was really good to me, to my soul, to be still productive, but don't have that much waste behind me after the finished artwork, as I can say. So I was thinking about that I can use these basic materials all around me, what I was using for a living, so I can take some, things from the kitchen, for example, sugar, water, tea, so I can make the kombucha after the scoby, and I don't have to pay for the material to be grown. The material does itself, so it's still a process. And it's much more environmental friendly. And after the post-production, as I can say, when I am framing the works, I'm still, thinking about that to have much smaller impact, to have this kind of minimalizing the carbon footprint behind me, because, nobody's a saint.
To wrap our conversation up, what would you say made you laugh, smile, or even giggle in the last week?
I love to work in a team, so I'm really grateful to have fantastic friends who are
talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing.
And they are also architects or biologists, but we are collaborating on projects. So they are making me feel alive in that, I can say it like that, because we are pushing each other's boundaries. And we are trying now to make new contacts for another project for the next year. So I'm really hoping for that we can realize it and to start something a little bit bigger.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, ultimately, the people that we have around us are the ones that we walk through whatever crisis that it is we're experiencing.
Yeah, because that's really important nowadays, because we were isolated, for a year or two.
I need to know when am I going to leave this misery?
And to have that healthy contact with people and to see each other, thriving.
Yeah, it's essential.
Yeah.
Feel supported and held and also hold.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for another episode of Now What. Thanks for joining, and thank you especially to Adrienn for that insightful and beautiful conversation. If you'd like to learn more about what she does, have a look in the description box below, and you'll find a link to her website and to her Instagram page. And you do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to Now What, wherever you get your podcasts, your videos, your social media. Ciao.
Circles dancing.